Hello and welcome to Joe's Knows NFL, episode 15. We're going to go over our week 15 rapid fire game picks. We're going to go over some panic or don't panic teams, a lot of changes in the NFL recently. And then we're going to go over our early Super Bowl picks. We're getting in the last legs of the 2023 season. Good luck to everybody in the fantasy football playoffs. Of course, we are here with Giacomo Priali, Bobby Christensen, Richie Zangara, John Palermo, and me, Jack Kemmler. We're going to go quickly into the rapid fire game picks. Currently, Thursday Night Football is playing. Raiders are up 21-0. We did not get to pick that game. We'll start off with the Saturday 1:00 game, 7-6 Vikings versus another team who's trying to get in the playoffs, 7-6 Bengals.
Yeah, the Vikings back-to-back weeks haven't looked impressive. I don't really expect that bounce-back game. Jake Browning has looked like a very decent quarterback, and in the offseason, I think some NFL teams can give this guy a shot. Let him see what he can do. I'll take the Bengals at home.
Yeah, give me the Bengals.
Yeah, give me the Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals.
Yeah, Vikings have not looked good the past couple games. I'll be also taking the Bengals. Moving on, a couple of teams coming off losses. 7-6 Pittsburgh Steelers going to Indianapolis to verse the Colts.
Yeah, I'll say it until they don't make the playoffs. Steelers are frauds. They're not a good team. I'll take the Colts at home. Minshew Mania is a real thing.
Yep.
Steelers are so bad. They're so bad. Pickett's not good. That offense, he
He's
has.
not playing.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying in general, the Steelers suck. Mitch is even worse.
Still have a winning record.
So the Colts are hot. Mitch is hot, and I'm gonna ride with the high end.
Yeah, shout out John and Dom. Steelers are terrible. Give me the Colts.
The Steelers, obviously. Nothing else has to be said.
Yeah, I'll be taking the Colts as well to win that one. Denver Broncos heading over to Detroit versus 9-4 Lions.
Yeah, normally I wouldn't do this. I've been against them the whole season, but shout out Dom Rufino, Broncos country. Let's ride. Russ is going to be cooking up this weekend. I'll take the Broncos on the road in an upset.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Both teams, obviously, the Lions aren't as hot as the Broncos. But I still really do think that they're an elite team, and although the last couple of weeks they haven't really shown it, I think they're gonna get it done this week and stop the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Red Hot Broncos here. I don't like what's going on in Detroit. Obviously, they've hit a little bit of a slump. Russell Wilson's been playing probably the best football he's played in a couple of years. Give me the Broncos here.
Yeah, I said it last week on the show. The Lions are not the same team as they were in the beginning of the season. They're not playing with that same pep, that same fire. They just don't look really like a good football team at all right now. Give me the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking the Lions. Coming off a loss, I believe MCDC will propel this Lions team to get a win. Moving on, not a great one. Tickets are selling under $1 here in Carolina versus Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, this is the game where I think Bryce Young finally steps up. This Falcons team isn't good. I don't think that they'll ever be good with the quarterback situation that they have. Yes, they have the skill players. Panthers are due to win one more game, and I think that this is an in-division game where the Panthers are going to get an upset win at home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Give me the Falcons. I don't think
That's such a bad take.
I don't think the Falcons are good. I mean, I see where Glock's coming from. Like the Panthers is a game that they'd squeak out. The one game they won was like, I think it was at home. It was like a weird game earlier in the year, and they got that win. But I mean, yeah, I'm gonna take the Falcons here. Better team. So.
Yeah, you probably could not pay me to go to this game. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm a big Falcons guy. Even though Arthur Smith is a terrible coach, I really like the Falcons a lot. They got playmakers. I think they have a good defense. Give me the Falcons.
I think Panthers have no reason to lose because they don't have their own draft picks. So I'll be taking the Panthers to win this one. Moving on, 5-8 Bears coming off a huge win against the Lions, going to Cleveland versus the Browns.
Yeah, the Browns defense is going to absolutely contain Justin Fields. I think he's going to have a very poor day. Not really a big Bears guy, never have been. Browns still got the best defense in the league. I'll take Cleveland at home.
Yeah, another weird game, but I'm going to take Cleveland in this one.
Yeah, this is also like a weirdly kind of close game, but yeah, give me the Browns.
Give me the Browns, but I feel like the Bears could make some noise in this game.
I'm going to be taking the Browns, even though Joe Flacco has weirdly been released and then is now back on the team to start. Weird situation going on in Cleveland, but I'll be taking him to win. Buccaneers are starting to fire up on a 2-game winning streak, going to Green Bay coming off a bad loss.
Yeah, two of probably my favorite teams that I've both made hot takes on throughout the year. I'll take the home team, though, here, the Green Bay Packers. I still think that the Packers are a playoff team. The Giants win doesn't bother me one bit. Tommy DeVito's hot right now, and the Packers are just still a good quality football team to play good football on both sides of the football. I'll take the Packers at home.
Yeah, I think the Packers are easily the better team here. Bucks are too inconsistent. Packers aren't really complete, but they're one of the most complete teams under 500. So yeah, I'm going to take the Packers.
Yeah, give me the Packers after embarrassment on Monday Night Football.
Agreed. Packers. Baker Mayfield, terrible.
Okay, all right. He's better than Kenny Pickett, buddy. Watch who you're talking to.
That's fine, but Baker Mayfield is still trash. I mean, sure.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers to win this one at home. Moving on, Zach Wilson coming off his career day versus Miami Dolphins.
Can't wait for Zach Wilson to throw 2 interceptions this weekend. I'm not a big Dolphins guy, but the Jets still stink. I'll take the Dolphins at home.
Yeah, I've never been high on the Dolphins this year. I'm gonna take the Jets here. I think they're gonna keep it going. I think Zach Wilson is a completely changed man from the beginning of the year, and I think he's gonna keep it going. And they're gonna squeeze out a big win in division and keep their hopes alive.
Yeah, it seems like all the everything's pointing at the Jets at this point, coming off a big win, Zach Wilson career game. Dolphins choking a lead to the Titans of all teams. I am going to go with the Miami Dolphins, though. I think they'll bounce back even if Tyreek doesn't play. I think that they're just way better offensively, and their defense can still probably hold up against Zach Wilson.
So I thought long and hard about this. I'm going to take the Jets, and I do think there is a world where the Jets keep the ball rolling and Zach Wilson continues to play well. And I agree with Bob. I'm not really high on the Dolphins either. I don't know. They have a weird feeling about them. So give me the Jets.
Yeah, I've talked about it a lot of times. The Dolphins have not beat a team with a winning record since week 3 of last year. And look, Jets just beat a team in the Texans that's honestly, in my opinion, better than the Dolphins in 20-mile-per-hour winds and down for rainfall, where I think Zach Wilson played his best game of his career. And coming off that, I think he can not play better, but have that type of game to beat the Dolphins. Moving on, Tommy DeVito and Tommy Cutlets, 5-8 Giants versus 6-7 New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, how you doing, Jack? 120 passer rating with 5 TDs, no picks. I'll take the Italian stallion Tommy DeVito at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it rolling with the G, man. You know, I'm a Giants fan, but you know, I think they're hot. They're a different team than the beginning of the year. The guys are really getting around Tommy, and I mean, although I don't think he's really a franchise QB, he's just getting the job done right now, and he's going to continue to win this week and keep our hopes up for the Eagles game. So yeah, give me the Giants.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a mistake there, but I believe that they're in New Orleans. But I am going to go with the Giants. I do not trust the Saints at all.
Yeah, give me the Giants. Said it last week on the show. The Saints are just like the most – I just think they're not a good team at all. They're just – you can never trust them at all. So give me the Giants. Tommy DeVito, how you doing?
Yeah, I think if there's going to be a blowout game this week, I actually think it's going to be this one. I really do not like this Saints team. Even at home, I think the Giants might give it to them. Moving on, 7-6 Texans. C.J. Stroud coming off his worst game of his career. Will Levis coming off his best one.
Yeah, and the scripts are going to completely change this week, Jack. C.J. Stroud, still, in my opinion, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And, yeah, it's a tough game against a very good Chiefs defense. He's going to throw all over this porous Tennessee Titans defense. I also think Will Levis, again, had not been high on him at all. I think he's due for some negative regression this week. I'll take the Texans on the road.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Guac. C.J. Stroud's still in concussion protocol. Doesn't sound like he's going to play this week, nor is Nico Collins probably, or Tank Dell. As of right now, Nico and C.J. are questionable, but both not expected to play. If that's the case, I think Will Levis stays hot. And, I love to see that they battled on Monday Night Football. Levis was really, really a dog. coming off the field after that last touchdown. It was really, really cool to see. So, Titans.
Yeah, real quick, Rich, before you go. Still doesn't change my opinion. I think Will Levis is garbage. I'll still take the Texans. I don't care.
All right. That's unbelievable. But I am gonna go with the Titans at home. I like Will Levis a lot. I think he's just an absolute just madman, and I really respect that out of him. Obviously Henry and Spears have been doing all right, but I mean this receiving core has been doing fantastic recently. So yeah, give me the Texans.
Yeah, I agree with Rich. Will Levis wants to play like he wants to rip your head off. He's got that it factor to him. I completely disagree with you, Giacomo. I think he's a good quarterback. I do. I think he has a good ceiling in the NFL. Just let him develop a little bit more. However, another thing too, the Titans defense isn't that bad. If you look at the statistics, they're actually not that bad. They have one of the best red zone defenses in the entire league. However, I will be taking the Texans, even though CJ Stroud is questionable. Give me the Texans.
All right, Glock. I want to know why you think Will Levis is bad.
There's a reason he dropped to the second round, Bobby. The kid, he's not a good quarterback.
It's the second round.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let him go.
He was projected to be a top 15 pick, and he wasn't.
Okay. All right. My other question to you is looking at that team. They've got arguably the worst offensive line in the league. Okay. They have Derrick Henry. They have what I like to think, kind of washed D-Hop. He's nowhere near elite as what he was. He's still good, but he's nowhere near elite. They have Treylon Burks, who can't stay on the field. They have Okonkwo, who's actually pretty solid. But besides all of those guys, Levis is still contributing to it. That Monday night game was a huge game. That kept them in the season, and he single-handedly won them that game.
I mean, listen, great game for sure against a bad defense. I still just don't think he's that great of a quarterback.
Bad defense.
Miami doesn't have a great defense.
Oh, they have one of the best secondaries in the league. What are you talking about?
They have
Ramsey.
Walk graphic.
They have Jalen Ramsey. They have Bradley Chubb.
Kemler to you.
Yeah, look, I mean, Aaron Rodgers fell in the draft. I mean, anybody could really fall in the draft and turn into a good player. But I do think Will Levis is honestly a good. I agree, Jock. Coming into the league, I didn't think he was one of the best prospects. But look, the tape is showing how he's actually a pretty solid QB, and he's behind a great head coach in Mike Vrabel, and that's why I'm going to take the Titans here at home. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. Moving on, 8-5 Chiefs. This is a bad. What a bad week was for Mahomes going to New England versus 3-10 Patriots.
Yeah, Jack, you want to talk about blowouts? This is going to be the blowout game of the week, in my opinion. Mahomes is angry. He is going to be coming for vengeance this week to New England. I'm so serious. I think the Chiefs may win by 20. I think that they're going to put up a monster game against this New England team. So I'll take the Chiefs by a big margin. This is going to be the blowout game of the week here.
Yeah, I wish this Chiefs team played the Patriots last week when my fantasy playoffs were on the line, but that wasn't the case. Kadarius Toney had other plans. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs big here. You know, they've been very, very inconsistent, and this is going to be the week where they kind of get stuff right and kind of turn the ship around.
I have a weird feeling that the Patriots are going to win. Going into Gillette, Belichick's defense. I mean, like I really do feel like the Patriots are gonna get the upset. This is gonna be TikTok worthy if this gets right.
Terrible pick.
But
Yeah. I really think the Chiefs are going to win by 35 this week.
I think that the Patriots are gonna. I think they're gonna win. If not, they're gonna cover, man.
I mean, is this even obvious? Like, do we even need to go over who's going to win this football game? It's going to be the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes probably won't even play the second half. That's how bad this game is going to be.
100%.
Agreed. He's not going to play the second half. The Chiefs are going to win by 20 probably.
Look, yeah, I don't know if I fully agree with Richie, but look, when you get an angry Mahomes, like Jock was saying, Bill Belichick's going to take that over. He's going to blitz heavy, and you can get an angry guy even angrier And there's been a lot of reports coming out that the Patriots have already decided, no matter what the season ends, that they're going to move on from Bill Belichick. I
Mhm.
think this is the type of week where Bill Belichick kind of stomps all those rumors down and puts up a very good week. I don't think it's going to be enough to win it. The quarterback play from Bailey Zappi is definitely a solid QB backup, but I don't think it's going to be enough to beat this Chiefs team. But expect a close game, honestly, in my opinion.
I
Moving on.
agree.
Yeah, 10-3 49ers going to 3-10 Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I think that this could be a lot more of a sneaky game. Kyler Murray's been hot in these couple of games. I mean, I don't know why you guys are laughing. He's been a pretty good quarterback their first couple of starts off the IR. But I think the Niners will win this game, but I think it could be a sneaky close game where the Cardinals can keep it close.
Respectfully, Glock, he's won one game since coming back.
I know, but his numbers are very impressive, and he's no support system.
Yeah.
Anyway, no support staff. What?
Who's he throwing the ball to? No one.
How are they going to beat the 49 with no support?
Right.
Like, they don't get a line, but they have a good good.
They have good weapons on there. James Conner, they've got good weapons.
James Conner.
Anyway,
You think he's a good running back?
he's solid. Yeah, he's had a good year. Going into the year, I didn't think he was good, but now this year, look at his numbers. He's had a good year. All right, so yeah. With that said, this is going to be my blowout game of the week. Although it's not really a thing. Give me the 49ers by a lot. They're going to stay hot. They're the best team in the football league, and I don't think it's very close. I think if they lose one of their main guys on the offense, that's the only way a team will stop them.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to take the Cardinals here. Give me the 49ers pretty big.
Yeah, I said it last week. The 49ers, they're the best team in the NFL. This is the best team Kyle Shanahan has had in his entire tenure coaching the 49ers. They are a very dangerous team. Give me the 49ers here by a lot.
Yeah, it does feel like Kyler Murray, maybe in his last games in Arizona with them getting a top 5 pick, I'll also be taking the Niners here. This one's not a great one, but we'll see if it's a good one. 4-9 Commanders heading to LA in SoFi Stadium versus the Rams.
Listen, I get the stats. Don't back this up because he's second in the league in passing yards. Sam Howell's just not a good quarterback. I don't think that Washington should roll with him next year. I'll take the Rams by a pretty big margin. I think that this could be another blowout game. Commanders don't have a great team. They're just not a good team, and I'm a big Rams guy. I think that Cooper Kupp, once again, finally. Last week you saw a little bit of him coming back. I think this will be another step in the right direction for him. I'll take the Rams at home.
Yeah, ever since Kyron came back, this team's been it's been a different team. They've I think I saw they went from one of the worst rushing yards per game in the weeks that Kyron was out to the most yards per game as a team since he's came back. So yeah, I mean, I think as long as he's healthy and the main guys stay healthy, as in Puka and Cooper Kupp, they're a very good football team. They're a sneaky team in the NFC, as it's very, very conjumbled with a whole bunch of 6 and 7 teams. So I think they're going to easily take care of business here.
Yeah, I'll take the Rams here to take care of business.
Yeah, I completely disagree with Giacomo. Sam Howell is a good quarterback. I do think the Commanders should roll with him. And I do think the Rams will win this game because the Commanders are terrible. And Ron Rivera will be fired at the end of this year. But give me the Rams.
Yeah, I'll also be taking the Rams to move up to 7-7. Here's a good one. 10-3 Cowboys coming off their best win of the season, going to Buffalo, one of the hardest places to play, the 7-6 Bills.
Yeah, that home aspect that you just said. Bills Mafia is going to be packing the stands for this game. I'm all over the Bills in this game. I still think that the Bills are a very, very good football team. We saw them have a big win last week against the Chiefs. I think they'll keep it rolling at home against the Cowboys.
Yeah, Bills are so inconsistent, man. They had a great week last week. I don't know. This Dallas Cowboys team just continues to dominate. As Glock said, benched by week 10. It's currently week 14. He's probably MVP, or week 15. He's going to continue his MVP stature, and he's going to continue it with this week against the Bills, and he's going to go off.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Bobby. Dallas Cowboys have been playing fantastic recently. Buffalo coming off a good win against Kansas City. But I think that this Dallas offense is just too much for Buffalo's defense.
It's really hard to walk into Buffalo and win. But the Cowboys will win but it will be a very close game. And there is a world where Josh Allen wins this football game, but it's probably unlikely because the Cowboys' offense is just too good. So give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about this is like an MVP game. Like if Josh Allen wins this game, he could bolster himself into the MVP conversation.
Yeah, I don't really see that.
Too many interceptions.
So it's not me; it's just the media saying that. But
No, yeah, you're right. It just too many interceptions, as Bobby said.
yeah, I'm going to be taking the Cowboys here away. I don't feel good about it, but I think that's just what I'm going to go with. Sunday Night Football, 10-3 Ravens. After that injury to Mark Andrews, still look like a solid football team going to Jacksonville to a very slow 8-5 Jaguars.
Yeah, very slow. They'll pick it up again. The Ravens are still terrible. They won't win a game in the playoffs. Give me the Jags.
Dude, I don't know where this is coming from. I continue to believe that the Ravens are the best team in the AFC. And until they prove me wrong, I mean, Isaiah Likely's completely filled in for Mark Andrews. He's been doing an amazing job receiving. Keaton Mitchell's become a huge spark to this offense. And as Odell continues to pretty much come back to where he used to be, that offense is only getting better by the week. So, yeah, give me the Ravens here. Jags are too inconsistent. Lawrence is playing on a high ankle sprain somehow.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this game all week, actually. I think that this is going to be a dogfight all the way through. Obviously, I'm going to go with my Ravens here. I'm going to get into it a little bit later, but they've shown that they can win in every single way, whether low-scoring game like against the Chargers, high-scoring shootout like the Rams last week, or just flat-out blow teams out like the Lions and the Seahawks. And besides the Rams, who are red hot right now, all those teams are above 500 and in the playoff race. So, Guac, if you think that they are not winning a playoff game, you are out of your mind. Give me the Ravens.
I don't think they'll win.
Yeah, it pains me to do this because I'm a Steelers fan and I hate the Ravens. We still own you guys, by the way. Give me the Ravens here. I think they are the best. It pains me to say this, but I think they are the best team in the AFC. The Jaguars they don't look like a good team at all right now. They look like an absolute dumpster fire. I don't know what's going on with Trevor Lawrence. He does not look like the same quarterback we saw last year. Still good, but he's definitely regressed a little bit. So give me the Ravens here.
Yeah, even if the Jaguars lose this game, they'll have the next two games against the Buccaneers and Panthers to lock up the division. I think this game, of course, it means a lot to them, but I think they're not going to care as much. I'll be taking the Ravens to win this one. Moving on, Monday Night Football, 10-3 Eagles coming off two very embarrassing losses, going to Lumen Field to versus the Seahawks.
Yeah, this is another blowout alert. I think Philly's going to have a big game on Monday Night Football. I'm all over the Phillies. That's why I still think that they are a very legit, well-rounded, put-together football team. I'll take them on the road to destroy the Seahawks.
Yeah, although I don't like Geno at all, I will forever hate Philly. And it's a primetime game. Monday Night Football's unders have hit like crazy. So this could become a dogfight, especially in Seattle. Primetime in Seattle is a very tough environment to play in. This is going to be a weird game, and I think Seattle is going to somehow win this football game, and the Eagles are going to continue their little cold streak here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Seahawks here.
Yeah, the Eagles do not look like a good football team at all right now, and I can't believe I'm about to do this. Give me the Seahawks. Seattle's a very tough environment to play in, very tough. And the Eagles just look absolutely abysmal right now. Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback at the moment at all right now. Throwing way too many picks. Just the defense has given up way too many points. They don't look good at all. Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, basically Palermo's reasoning for the Seahawks winning is going to be the reasoning for the Eagles to win my game. I think just too many things are going against them that they're just going to show up and win this game. Moving on to our next segment, we're going to do panic or don't panic teams. Feels like a good time to do this about 3 or 4 weeks away from the playoffs. We'll start off with the Green Bay Packers coming off a very bad loss to the New York Giants, still trying to get into that wild card spot.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this quick and concise. 2 weeks ago, I said Packers make the playoffs. Still believe it. I will not panic on this Packers team. Lions are so shaky. I don't think that the Packers will win the division. I do think that they can sneak it at a wild card, however. I think Jordan Love has continued to impress. This Packers team is very put together. Now, the only concern for me is the injuries. Like this week, Christian Watson's already out and a couple other key guys out, but I still don't think it's time to panic on this Packers team.
Yeah, don't panic. The NFC is way too close to panic on this team. As a Giants fan, the Packers are on easily better than us. We just happened to win that football game. But yeah, the Packers have no reason to panic. They've got 4 games left. Take care of business, and I think they will.
What everyone said so far, don't panic.
I agree with Bob. Nope, don't panic at all. There's no reason to. Jordan Love's a good quarterback. Have faith in Matt LaFleur. He's a great coach. Just no reason to panic.
Yeah, I'm also not going to panic on this Packers thing. I think they're just too good offensively that they can lead themselves to a wild card spot. Moving on, I think we touched on this team a little bit before. So if we just want to go a little more in depth about it, the Miami Dolphins.
I believe this should be fairly quick. Dolphins are painted red. I'd hit the super panic if I'm the Dolphins. They're not going to win a game in the playoffs either in the AFC. Their offense is very good. Their defensive numbers are okay. I still don't think that they have a great defense. And
I thought you said their
this
defense
Titans
was
game.
trash.
This Titans game is a rude awakening for this Miami team. So
You said 10 minutes ago that their defense was trash.
Yeah, I said they're okay. They're not a great defense. Okay. Like I'll still hit the super panic button on this team. The Titans game, a very rude awakening for them.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. There's no need to super panic about this football team. They put up way too many points. That offense is explosive. I'm going to say panic though, just because of their weak spots on this on the team and how they're a little bit inconsistent. Honestly, Tua's had a good year statistically, but I still am not a big Tua guy. He without Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, you guys even saw last week. Tyreek Hill was out. He kind of did struggle a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna hit the panic button, but it's not nothing crazy. I just think that they got to find some consistency on the defense and offense, all sides of the ball, and then they'll be just fine.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the panic. We saw on Monday night what Tua's performance was with no Tyreek Hill. It's not good. And also, obviously, Dolphins haven't beaten the team above 500 yet. I mean, I got to see it, and then I can say don't panic, and maybe they're a contender. But right now, yeah, panic.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the panic button if I'm the Dolphins. Just something about them that doesn't. They do score a lot of points, but there's just something about them that I don't really like. They don't win games against good teams, and that's a huge red flag. Like, you got to be able to beat good teams, and they have just proved time and time again that they're not capable of doing so. So for that reason, I'm gonna hit the panic button.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their next 4 games: Jets, Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills, and that's something I don't see themselves going through winning over half of those games, even half of the game. So right now, I'm hitting the panic button on the Dolphins. I've been hitting it the whole season. Like Frank the Tank said, they're going to Dolphin dive in December. So I agree with him on that. I'm going to take the panic button there. Moving on, Kansas City Chiefs coming off a very, very bad loss.
I'm just going to say this right off the bat. I don't get how you can panic about this team. It's so hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes right now, especially when he's down at his lowest. These are the times when Patrick Mahomes comes up and makes big plays. I get that he has no receivers. I get he has no help. But Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the league talent-wise, 100%. This Chiefs team is still a very, very good team just because they have the best quarterback in the league on their team. Now, I get some of the losses, and I get how cold they've been, but I still refuse to panic on the Chiefs team. They're still a very good team.
Yeah, major panic on this team. This week's a must-win. They got to win this week. I know they're playing the Patriots. Should be an easy game for them, but they've got to win. They've got to turn it around. They've got to go back to their old Chiefs self this week. So as I do believe that they will, and I think that they will be fine. As of this second, it's still panic because the game hasn't happened yet. But if they take care of business and turn it around and kind of dominate that game, I'll see. I'll kind of maybe change my answer.
Ali said there, but I am going to go with don't panic for the Chiefs. It's tough to bet against Patrick Mahomes here. They're gonna figure it out. They've been suffering with a lot of drops, but Travis Kelce is just Travis Kelce. He'll carry this team.
Yeah, I agree with Bob, actually. As of right now, panic button 100%. They don't win this game, they're 8-6. Kind of ugly, kind of scary. So for that reason, I'm hitting the panic button.
I'm not going to be hitting the panic button. I think this Chiefs team right now in the regular season doesn't look the greatest. They've had their bad losses, but I think their defense is one of the best they've had in the past couple of years, statistically wise and just eye test wise. And I think when it comes to the postseason, they're going to be the most experienced team in the AFC, and they're probably going to be the best team in the AFC when it comes down to the postseason. And that's why I'm not going to panic on them just yet. I think this should unanimously be an answer on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I was just about to say that, Jack. Just for sake of argument, I want to keep this moving really quick. I'll let these two guys talk about it. But it is a big red panic button. This Steelers team is terrible. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, they suck. Panic, major panic. They got to turn something around quick, and it's got to be this week. If not, it's over.
Yeah, obviously, Mitch Trubisky at the helm, panic.
I want to say panic, but it's going to be my bias and it's going to be my absolute loyalty to my team. So not panic. I think we have playmakers. I think we will figure it out. Our offensive line isn't the worst. It's not great, but it's not the worst.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
You have no argument here, dude.
Just stop.
All right, fine. For the sake of time, I'll keep it moving.
Thanks.
Jack, go on.
Yeah, it'll be a quick panic for me. They're horrible. They're horrible. Moving on. Philadelphia Eagles off of 2 bad losses.
Yeah, Jack, honestly, when I saw this, I think this is an absolute joke why the Eagles are on here. It is 100% a not panic. They just lost back-to-back games to the 2 best teams in football at the moment, in my opinion. And
so why is that not panic?
You don't have to panic on them. They're a legit team. They're 10-3. They're still going to win the NFC East, I believe. I think that they're a better team than the Cowboys. Cowboys are just a hotter team. But if you're talking come playoff time, there's absolutely zero reason to panic on the Eagles. They have a cakewalk schedule. They play the Giants twice. I know I'm saying that as a Giants fan. Even if they split, they play the Cardinals. The Eagles have an absolute cakewalk schedule. Zero reason to panic. I think it's a joke that they're even on this list.
I 100% agree with Glock here. Definitely not a panic. I mean, if you're going to panic because they're not the 1 seed, I guess you could say that's a panic button for the 1 seed. If you're talking to make the playoffs, I mean, there's no need to panic. They're 10-3. They're a very complete football team. Their defense has had some struggles, but there's no reason to panic. They're gonna figure it out. Every team's had a little cold stretch this year, and they're just going through it right now.
Yeah, 100%. Eagles just went through a gauntlet of schedule wise, and also if you're a wild card team, you play like the below 500 division winner from the NFC South. So I think the Eagles are fine right now. They're still a good football team, regardless of their previous 2 games.
Yeah. I'm going to say panic for the time being because Jalen Hurts is not playing well, and they got absolutely rolled the last 2 games. And I really don't like how the defense is playing at all. They're scaring me. They don't look like that dominant team that they were in the beginning of the season. And honestly, I think the Cowboys are just an overall better team than them right now. And I think the 49ers are an overall better team than them right now. And I don't think things are looking good right now for the Eagles.
Oh, real quick, I just want to step in for Jack.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, one thing is I know why you're mad. I agree with you. Second thing, you just shook your head because John just said that the Cowboys and
No,
Niners-
Cowboys are 100% the better team right now. I just don't get why we're hitting the panic button when he basically just said only named 2 teams that are confidently better than them. So if you think that Eagles is the number 1 wild card as a panic, I just see that as a joke.
No. I don't think that the Eagles are a bad team at all. I just think they're going through a rough patch, and for that reason,
But you just said that this team should panic. I think that they're more than
they
fine.
should panic because they've gotten rolled the last 2 games by 2
They went
teams
through a
that are
gauntlet
better than
schedule and they
them.
lost to 2 of the best teams in the NFL in close games. There's
Well,
zero
they're
reason
supposed to be the
panic.
best team in the league, aren't
All right,
they?
all right, all right. Yeah, look. I'll explain this for my reasoning and why I'm panicking on this team. All right, look.
Why are you rolling your eyes? Listen to him speak.
They squeaked out a win against Commanders. They squeaked out a win against Cowboys. They squeaked out a win against the Chiefs, and then they squeaked out a win against the Bills. Then they lost by 30 to the Niners. Then they lost by 20 to the Cowboys. All right, these aren't close losses. These are teams that blew them out. And frankly, the one at 49ers was at their own house. All right, they lose to the top 2 teams in the NFC now. I don't get where people in a world right now think they can win the NFC. This team came into the league as the top team to win the NFC, and now they're not even in the top 2 anymore. Why would you not panic on the team that's supposed to be in the Super Bowl?
Kemmler's right. I just
Hold
didn't
on,
explain it
hold on,
properly.
hold on. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I see where you guys are both coming from. I'm still obviously gonna hit the not panic, but like my thing is the Niners went through a very similar stretch, right? They had everyone healthy. Debo was hurt for one of those games. When Debo got hurt that first game, they lost. Then they had him back that next week. They lost again. They had 3 straight losses or 3 in 4 games. They were going through the same thing the Eagles are going through now, just earlier, and the Eagles are now playing better teams. So I get what you're saying. The Eagles are going through a rough patch right now against teams that they're supposed to beat come playoff time, the way they get to the Super Bowl. But I'm still kind of neutral, but I'm still gonna hit no panic.
And look, I see where you're coming from with that. It's just like I guess you could say I'm doing recency bias, but it's just the recencies that they've lost to the top 2 teams in the NFC. And look, if they lose this game against the Seahawks, I mean, I don't know how you guys cannot be hitting the panic button.
No, if they lose this week, though, I'll hit the panic button.
I would agree with that if they lose this week.
Yeah, that's fine to agree on. Moving on to our last team, the Houston Texans come off a very bad loss to the Jets.
Yeah, listen, I may get some heat for this, but I want to be explained. I still won't hit the panic button. Even if CJ Stroud does miss this week, you still play the Titans twice, who I don't think are a very good football team. They got to play a tough Browns defense, and then a very up in the air game, Week 18 against the Colts. So I think all of those games are very, very winnable for this Texans team, and I still think that they are a very good team. I get a lot of teams are in that hunt, and they may not make the playoffs, but there's zero reason to panic. I get they lost a tough game. The Jets have a very good defense. They just beat a red-hot Broncos team, which I called, by the way. I don't. It's all right. It's maybe a slight panic, but I won't hit that button yet. I'll want to give it another week. And if CJ Stroud doesn't play, I'll give it 2 more weeks.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Glock. That made 0 sense.
Pretty much.
You just said they may make the playoffs, but there's zero. They may not make the playoffs, but there's zero reason to panic.
Because I think they will, but it's going to be close. Obviously, there's a lot of teams
That's
right in the
usually
mix.
a panic. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna hit the panic button, but it's not like an emergency panic button. As Glock said, they play the Titans twice. They play a Browns team and they play a Colts team who's very hot right now. And they may catch the Colts on a bad week. Who knows if the Colts are gonna still be hot in 4 more weeks. Losing Tank Dell's huge. But yeah, I'm gonna go little panic button, nothing crazy. I think they have to take care of business this week though.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also going to go panic button. CJ Stroud, still a major question. I think he'll be back in 2 weeks, but how Tua has been like in the past with his concussions, it's not the same. Tank Dell and Nico Collins are gone. So who do they have? I mean, I don't really think that Davis Mills is gonna be like the guy. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the panic.
I'm gonna say not panic. I think D'Amico Ryans is a great coach, and I have faith in this Texans team. I don't think they're the best team in the league by no means, but I think they're a pretty good and up and coming team. So for that reason, I'm gonna say not panic.
I have a question real quick. Do you think the Jets are good,
Who are you asking?
John?
No, do I think the Jets are good?
He's
John,
asking me.
Oh.
do you think the Jets are good?
No, but I think they have a good players around them for a good team.
Okay, so the Texans just lost 30-6 to that team. Okay, I get they have a good defense, but you're saying that team has no panic, but a 10-3 Eagles team has a panic.
I just think it's
That
I just think they had a bad week. I just think they had a bad week.
That doesn't make sense, but it's okay.
Look, I can't really I'm a huge Jets fan, but the Jets embarrassed they embarrassed Hurts, Mahomes, Allen, and Herbert on the season. If they embarrass CJ Stroud, it's honestly I see it kind of reasonable. They just had a huge win against the Broncos 2 weeks ago. So I think this Texans team, I'm not going to panic on them fully. They weren't even supposed to make the playoffs to start the season. If they make the playoffs,
Yeah, no one expected them to be in the position that they're in now.
Yeah, it's an
I didn't
amazing.
explain it right. Jack explained it better than I did, but
It's an amazing job for them to make the playoffs. If they don't, the next season they'll be one of the best teams in the NFL. But
agreed. And D'Amico
moving on
Ryans is
to-
definitely up for Coach of the Year.
yeah, we're gonna move on to what are the best teams in the NFL. Our Super Bowl picks. Jock, you can go first.
All right, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I'm going to take the dog in the NFC and the underdog in the AFC. In the NFC, give me the San Francisco 49ers. I still think that they're the best team in the NFC. The NFC East teams are good. I think the Niners will beat them both. In the AFC, I think the playoffs is a time in the AFC, especially this year where the cards are shuffled. I think underdog teams are going to rule in this AFC. Give me the Buffalo Bills. I think that this team is so suited to win playoff games. Most playoff experience other than the Chiefs in the AFC. The resume's there. They're just waiting for their opportunity, and they're going to make the playoffs and beat. There's no legit AFC teams, and I think the Ravens are terrible. They won't win a playoff game. They're the only team that you could say has looked put together in the regular season. Chiefs, like you said, a lot of people, I don't think you're panicking on them, but I think the Bills just beat them. I think that the Bills are a very legit team come playoff time. Give me Niners Bills, and I'll take the Niners to win the whole thing.
I honestly don't dislike that take. As crazy as it is, Josh Allen's built for the big moment. He's just so inconsistent. I don't think he's going to be able to win 3 straight playoff games. So with that said, I'll keep this quick also, quicker than what you said. Give me the Ravens. I think they're overall the best team in the AFC. I don't really think I think it's close, but I don't think it's that close. And then I'm going to take the Cowboys. Cowboys are hot. They're going to stay hot. This is their year. Although I hate the Cowboys, this is the year that they're going to make the playoffs. But Lamar Jackson's going to win it.
No, God. I'm so serious as a Giants fan. I will be rooting avidly for the Cowboys to win it against the Ravens if that's the Super Bowl. Avidly.
All right, well, I have the Ravens versus the 49ers in the Super Bowl. And, I mean, the only team to stop the Ravens in the AFC is the Ravens. If they can stay out of their own way, no team is going to beat them. If they can play 3-4, depending on if they 1 seed, 3-4 games of Baltimore Raven football, no one will beat them. But the issue is, will they do that? Probably not. I think they get to the Super Bowl, but they lose to the 49ers.
It pains me to do this and say this, but I think it's going to be the Ravens versus the 49ers. And I think it's just the 49ers year. I just think they're a bunch of dogs, and I just think they're a great team. So give me the 49ers.
All right. Before we get my Super Bowl pick, and we're gonna quickly get a special guest, Matt Freeman. Quickly get your special Super Bowl pick.
Yeah. So, it's great to make an appearance tonight. No doubt about it. I love being involved. I'm actually gonna go with the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not gonna doubt Patrick Mahomes, until he gives us a reason to in the playoffs. And just really quick, I don't understand where the Ravens hate is coming from. They're a terrible team. They're 10-3. They've had a very strong strength of schedule. One of their 3 losses are where 9 of their 22 starters were out. So that's just a complete brain dead take. They blew out the Lions. They blew out the Seahawks.
All right.
You said they're a bad team.
Matt. The second the Ravens play a playoff game, this team is so inexperienced. Lamar Jackson is going to be shaking in his boots the second they play a playoff game. I have so much confidence that the Ravens will not even win a playoff game. They're such frauds. I can't wait to see them lose in the first round. I will have the biggest smile on my face for a week. This team is a joke. They're garbage. I get they're 10-3. I don't care. They'll wait till the playoffs come.
So this is just where hold on. This is just where the IQ is so below where it really should be for this show. So you just said previous you believe that the Texans are going to make the playoffs. That's what you said.
That's a wild card. I know.
And then now you're saying Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are inexperienced in the playoffs. If the Texans make the playoffs, they'll be playing the Baltimore Ravens, pal. I'm just letting you know. Hold on. No. Hold on. Don't. So when you are saying they won't win a playoff game because they're inexperienced, yet you're calling on the most inexperienced team in the NFL to beat them in the playoffs, that makes no sense whatsoever.
All right. Number one, you don't know for a fact they play the Texans. Number two, both of those
saying
teams
if they do, and you think that they will.
Okay. So even if it does happen, I'll still take the Texans. I'll take CJ Stroud all day.
For what reason?
The Texans team is a better team.
For what reason?
Is there a better team? Will
they have a better team?
And
I think so.
Oh, okay.
So I will continually hate on the Ravens. I really don't care about the numbers. It's not even biased. I just hate the Ravens. I don't think
so. The Ravens have been.
They'll never win anything.
The Ravens have been a better team all year. They beat the Texans head to head, and they are more experienced than the Texans. And you just hung your hat on experience. So based on all of your criteria, the Ravens are a better team. But you think the Texans would beat them in a playoff situation in Baltimore on the road, no less, because. You just hate the Ravens.
Whatever.
100%.
Whatever.
Just wait.
So
I don't even want reason. I'm just waiting for the playoffs to come.
So no reason.
The Ravens get bounced in the first round.
Listen. Right or wrong. Hold on. Right or wrong, right? It's sports. Things happen, right? But your reasoning as of right now is non-existent. Am I correct?
I don't need reasoning. I don't need reasoning. The second the
playoffs
come, Lamar Jackson gets bounced.
I'm just curious. This is a sports debate show. Like, do you have no reasoning just because you said so?
Just wait until playoffs come. That's all I'm going to say.
But just say no reasoning, right?
No reasoning.
No reason. Got it. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Matt, for the special guest appearance. Luckily, he came in. Look, I do think Lamar's going to have a good playoffs. I actually do think he's going to show up for the first time, and I will be taking the Chiefs to make the Super Bowl. I honestly think the Chiefs in January are just one of the best teams in the whole NFL. And that's why I had Matt come in so he can agree with my Super Bowl picks. I'm taking the Chiefs and the Niners to redo that 2019 Super Bowl. And I also will be taking the Niners. I think this team is just a team built with destiny. Kyle Shanahan, one of the best coaches in the league. Brock Purdy. I know Dom's listening. I think Brock Purdy is at least a top 7 QB in the league. But, that'll do it for our Week 15, Episode 15, Joe's Knows NFL. You can follow us on TikTok, SJ Sports Shows. And for Giacomo Pierre, Bobby Christensen, Richie Zangar, John Palermo, and me, Jack Hemler. Thanks for watching.